Good morning or good night, Gacha Kingdom. Before we go super deep into this video, like how both of our video protagonists are going to go super deep into me, I'm kidding, but I wish. Fuck, I really wish. There's a couple of people that I like to give a special mention to because I have a feeling that this video is going to appear onto their timeline, and I really hope that I do justice to your crack ship right here, right now. First person, I was told that somebody on Reddit, apparently, and I quote, with a hung profile picture is just thirsting for lycaon on r/lycaon mains with the most wettiest and nastiest descriptions. That sounds like me for real. So I went onto Reddit to check the Von lycaon mains subreddit, and wouldn't you know it, yeah, that is Hung's profile picture. And this person is not just a random member of that subreddit. No, they are a moderator of both the main Von lycaon mains subreddit and also the lycaon mains subreddit, which is different because that one just straight up has in it. I did not know that beforehand. I also did not know that this moderator existed, but I hope that you're having a great day. Second person originates from this crazy Twitter timeline poll that I got of Von lycaon and Hung making out with each other, and I checked the hashtag, and wouldn't you know it, there is a timely account of LycaHung. There's a damn near timely account for anything these days, but specifically for this account, I hope that whoever is the admin of this account is having a great day. And finally, there was somebody that emailed me like Tuesday night saying that they did a doodle based off of my Video Friday community post of Von lycaon and Hung right next to each other, and look at how cute they are. I hope that you're having an amazing day, because I looked at this, I damn near ascended to heaven. Now that we're 2 minutes into the video, we can talk about the video protagonist of this video, which is Von lycaon from zenless zzzero, which I'm sure that a lot of you are very familiar with, and Hung from Arknights, OG Arknights, not Endfield. Please add him to Endfield, please. Anyways, I'm sure that not a lot of you are very familiar with this man, so I'm gonna push y'all on game. I'm going to tell you my dream collaboration between zenless zzzero and Arknights, because realistically, it's probably gonna look like the most recent collab that Arknights did with Bandori, aka Girls Band Party, with Ave Musica. Like, Arknights is probably going to be on the winning side between this collaboration of zenless zzzero and Arknights, where we're going to, well, not we, the Arknights players are going to get a banner with probably like section 6, with Miyabi and Yanagi being the go-to 6 stars, and then Shokaku will be the welfare 5-star, and the on banner 5-star will be Haramasa. There you go. I was like, who? On the flip side of the collab, I feel like us zenless zzzero players have like the shortest end of the stick. They would be like, oh hey guys, we're doing a collab with Arknights. Here's a sticker pack of a bunch of the zenless zzzero characters cosplaying as Arknight characters. Isn't it funny? Yo, Nekomata as Pepe? Wow, that's cool. Also here's like 300 polychromes. Go play Arknights. Now, if Hoyoverse wanted to prove me wrong, I'm going to dish out a free idea to you. You don't have to add the lycaon and Hung having say. Let's pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars. I need a wish right now. I need a wish right now. That this is like 2.7. This is after whatever happens with Sissia, whatever happens with Stripper Acheron, like whatever mumbo jumbo that happens. There's literally like nothing happening. And Wise and Belle are like, chilling with Eos. All is well. And then Ellen busts through the door. Well, she wouldn't bust the door. She would swing the door open slowly. And then she would turn to Belle and Wise and be like, hey proxies, so last night we took a commission from a detective agency, and they were trying to find their way back home. Turns out they're from another world. And then we were talking to them to see like what kind of like Thyran race they were, but like turns out they're not Thyrans. And they were like, Thyran who? But like they're definitely not humans. So we took them into Victoria housekeeping, and I was like, hey guys, if there's anybody that could help us find their way back to their world and stuff, it would be the proxies. So yeah, that's why I'm here. And whoever proxy sibling you're playing as, for my case it's Belle. Belle goes, well, I'll go to Victoria housekeeping and I'll see who these people are, because if they're not humans, they gotta be Thyrans, right? Oh, I guess they're not Thyrans. This is Lee. He is the leader of Lee's detective agency. And yes, he is the detective of the agency. Wow, that's crazy. This is Waifu. Waifu is the stepdaughter of Lee. And yes, her name is Waifu. And fun fact, she has the same English voice actor as Astra Yao. So if Waifu and Astra Yao ever met each other, it would be kind of awkward. This is Hung. He's probably the closest to the definition of a Thyran if it wasn't for the fact that he has a unicorn horn jutting out of his forehead. This is Ak. He is an underworld doctor. Okay, so now that we've met everybody, where do we even begin? Belle has the amazing idea of retracing our steps. So, with Lee and crew, with the Victoria housekeeping, you go to this hollow area, a la similar to like when we were training with Shungguan in that sword realm area that was actually like inside the sword and some shit. So, the main story of this collaboration starts with Lee taking a job from a client. And that client was like, hey, there's some crystals that don't like originium crystals, so like, can you go check it out? Because if it is like originium level 2, we can make quadrillion amounts of T credits on these. So Lee takes the job, and thanks to the advice of the client, he decides to take everybody in the agency over to these crystals. And turns out, yeah, these crystals aren't actually originium. They are ether crystals, but they don't know that because that's zenless zzzero terminology. And then some spatial mumbo jumbo magic starts happening. They get teleported to the zenless zzzero world. And they're like, what the fuck? Where are we? That's where the craziest coincidence happens in this story. Vivian Banshee comes into the hollow, and she's running late because she was hanging out with Belle and Wise for a little bit too long. But she looks at these four and she's like, I've never seen these four before. And she goes over there. She's like, whoa, what the fuck are y'all doing here? We're fucking lost, bro. Like, what are these enemies? Like, why do they look like that? Where are their heads? Oh, maybe they aren't from here. But I can't bring them back to Mockingbird because Hugo might see this dog guy and absolutely have a mental breakdown because it's like, oh my god, it's Orange von Lycaon. So I should send them to von Lycaon. Vivian hits up Ellen and is like, hey, there's some people at my coordinates right here. And then that's how we got here in the first place. Because you are the humongous brain proxy, you're like, what if we found an area instead of ether crystals, it was those crystals that you guys mentioned, that originium crystals. I don't know what that is because we're in the zenless zzzero world, but like, I'm sure that they look different from the ether crystals. So maybe we can hang out in that area, and then you guys will be sent back to your guys' world because of the spatial fluctuation magic or some shit like that. I don't know. With the plan in tow, we just gotta find that area with originium crystals. Now that the world building appetizer is done, now to the main course of wolf yaoi. Because this mission is taking a lot longer than just one day, everybody in Victoria's housekeeping is able to become pretty good friends with everybody in Lee's detective agency, plus Lee. Particularly, von Lycaon and Hung have been hanging out with each other quite a bit often compared to everybody else. Oh, well, they're just two wolves, so hey, makes sense. But it's deeper than that. On mission night 1, back in Victoria's housekeeping, Hung notices that von Lycaon is still in the kitchen and he's taking a bunch of stuff out and, well, he's trying to cook up something. So he goes to the kitchen, he's like, hey, you know, what's going on? Why'd you throw out all that food? And von Lycaon tells Hung about how Rina decided to cook a bunch of snacks and dinner for all of our esteemed guests of Lee's detective agency, but for the better, Rina's cooking is, let's just say, not that very good. With tomorrow's dinner in the trash, I have to cook up something because all of our esteemed guests here deserve something more than just takeout. And Hung's like, oh no, it's okay. I mean, food is food. We've gone through a lot of days where the agency didn't have a lot of money and all we would rely on is instant noodles. And for Ak, he hates instant noodles. He would rather eat anything, even stuff out of the garbage, if that meant that would be one less day where he has to see the Maru-chan packet come out of the pantry. So with a new perspective of Rina's cooking and it's still being in the trash, then we get the classic cooking CG of Lycaon cooking something on a pan, and then Hung's like, oh, let me help you out. And then he has his paws behind Von Lycan's paws, and then his head is over Von Lycan's shoulders, and then Von Lycan's like, oh my god, and he has like his heart start thumping and he's like blushing, and Hung's like, oh, are you feeling okay? And then Von Lycan's like, oh yeah, it's just the heat from the bacon. Oh, you know, it's kind of hot.
The next day.
Turns out, well, we didn't pack snacks, and Ak gets hungry, and then Lee's like, hey, do you want some Maruchan noodles? Ah, hell no, Jigsaw, your ass is tweaking. And Rina's like, don't worry, I packed my emergency rations. And well, you know, let's just say they don't look that great. And Ak's like, ugh. And then he eats it. He's like, hey, you know what? It's not that bad. Mission night 3, back at Victoria Housekeeping. Well, for everybody except for Von Lycan, because that night he couldn't go back to sleep, because even though they are getting closer to the originium crystals, he can't seem to get some thoughts out of his head. So to get these thoughts out of his head, he decides to do some rooftop jumping and get some scenery of new Eridu and think about some other people that aren't of the somewhat same species as him, and other people that aren't blonde. Once Von Lycan is done clearing his mind, he gets back to Victoria Housekeeping at like 3 a.m. and Hung is there in the living room sitting in his own chair, because that's the most comfortable chair because it was designed for a wolf. Anyways, Hung gets up and he's like, hey, why were you out all night? Oh my god, there he is. No fucking way. He's the reason why I was out all night. No! Lycan tells Hung that he can't keep up Victoria Housekeeping's reputation if he keeps hanging out with Hung, because every time he does, he lowers his guard. And the last time he did lower his guard was with his blonde gay ex. So he just can't bring himself to be around him. Hung accepts Lycan's reasoning and also his following apology after explaining to him why his blonde ex is a little bit crazy. If anything, he's just really petty. After that though, Hung probably says something along the lines of like, well, at least you feel that way towards me and not to somebody else that is in your world, because at the end of this week, hopefully we can find a way to get back to our own world, and you only feel that way towards your blonde petty ex. I do feel like their conversation of each other's past could go deeper than this, but not only do I not feel like crying over wholesome after toxic yaoi relationship, they hug each other, and then Lycan asks Hung, oh, can I ask for one more thing? And then Hung like pulls his head back, he's like, what is it? And then they kiss, and then everyone cheers! Due to their adventure last night, Hung and Lycan are basically out of commission for the entirety of day 4's exploration of trying to find originium crystals in the hollow, and we go into day 5 because of it, and oh my god, we finally found the originium crystals! Belle does a scan with Fairy, and Fairy says that, well, the fluctuations are there, but they're not as crazy as a teleportation magic. So maybe in a few days, it could get to that craziness.
The next day.
In Lumina Square. Wow, no way. Boba G, the HIA, whoa, see some movies at the movie theater. Asher Yao meets Asher Yao. On day 7 of the mission, Fairy's like, the fluctuations might be possible of a teleportation rift tomorrow because it's getting pretty shaky right here, and everyone's like, dang. But not because they can't go back, it's because today's probably the last day that they're all gonna hang out with each other. So they decide to hang out with their favorite people. Rina tags along with Lee because Lee wants to go to Phylum Heights to see this world's equivalent of Lungmen. With the help of Belle and Wise, Corin, Ellen, and Wafu are able to get tickets to go see Asher Yao's concert that happens to be that weekend. Ak decided to hang out with Belle, Wise, and Eos because Belle was like, I will single-handedly recover your relationship with instant noodles. Oh wow, that's crazy. That leaves the two wolves. Hung offers to Lycan something a bit far-fetched. just doing a normal day's task with him by his side. LycaHung, concerned that Hung would be spending his last day in New Eridu basically doing nothing, goes, well, we could do something like A, B, or C, and Hung goes, no, I just want to spend this day with you doing mundane tasks to see what you are like every day, just like how I have normal days with Ak and Wafu and Lee, and I want to have a normal day with you. And then you're like, oh, so for day 7, it's just a normal day of doing everything, but now it's with Hung. LycaHung has to pick up groceries for the week, so he has to go to 141 convenience store, so they both go down there, and they have a special. It's a strawberry Kit Kat pizza, and they're both like, wow, that looks worse than Rina's cooking. Groceries are bought. Next is hair care product, or I guess in this case, wolf fur product, because I'm out of shampoo and conditioner, so gotta go towards the mall and buy shampoo, conditioner, and whatever else LycaHung also buys so that he can keep his fur nice and clean. And Hung is like, wow, I didn't know that there was so many different types of wolf care product, because I always just use 17-in-1 shampoo and also conditioner and also body wash and also toothpaste. Fur product bought. And now the final thing that LycaHung does on a normal day without any missions is to go home and take a at-home spa day. This isn't actually a normal occurrence for LycaHung. However, whenever there is a long extended period of time where he can't keep up his fur to the standard that he wants to keep it at, well, he spends the entire day basically cleaning himself. And while yes, LycaHung noticed that his fur on his tail particularly was starting to match, he also noticed that even though Hung's used 17-in-1 men body shampoo and also toothpaste, his fur was really nice, but it could be even nicer and softer. So in the shower together, LycaHung shows Hung which fur care products go before others, and then which parts to lather up while also rinsing. Goal of this is to be efficient while also being clean, while also making sure the water bill isn't 1 million dennies. With the shower done and Hung's fur care product acknowledgement up by 50, LycaHung needs to take care of what actually takes a long time, his leg, because while they are waterproof and for the most part they don't need maintenance all the time, it is now at the end of the month, and after a week-long battle in the hollow, they probably need more than just a rinse off. Hung, being the good man he is, decided to cook dinner for both LycaHung and himself because everybody wasn't actually going to be coming back to Victoria housekeeping that night. Instead, everybody was going to re-meet at random play in the morning and then head back out to the hollow for the final day. Now that they were both properly fed, Hung, while watching LycaHung still work on his legs, asks him when was the last time he took a proper bath. Not like a shower, but like a proper sit-in bath. Due to his mechanical legs, LycaHung can't really sit in a bath for that long. So, not surprisingly, LycaHung says in a long time. So, Hung offers, hey, maybe we can take a bath together and you can sit on my lap and we can have a proper spa where we can both sit in the water and maybe have like a bath bomb bath so that we can really reap in the benefits of all that fur care product. And after deliberating for a bit, LycaHung accepts Hung's offer, and then we get a CG of both LycaHung and Hung sitting in a bath together, and there's bubbles and it's pink, and then they're relaxing with each other, and it's like, oh, it's really cute. And then, due to the nature of LycaHung's body kind of slipping sometimes, so he has to prop himself up by grabbing onto Hung's arms and then pushing himself upwards and then downwards and then upwards again because he keeps slipping onto Hung's lap. Well, there seems to be a mini Hung that seems to really like that movement. An idea strikes LycaHung and also Hung, because if they are both the only ones in Victoria housekeeping that night, Well, one drying session later, one bridal carry session all the way over to the bed later, and this is it. Now, I would like to give credit where credit is due, and my inspiration for this bath scene into the bed was inspired by Plain Prisms, because their artwork was like the first time that made me actively be like, oh yeah, lycaon doesn't technically have legs. I was like, whoa, holy, oh my god. Like, this recontextualized the entire ship while also just being a cracked ship. Like, I feel like Hung would care about Von Lycaon both emotionally and also physically, and he would treat Von Lycaon like an equal to himself physically. And if Lycaon ever needed help due to his legs either malfunctioning or just out of just pure comfort, like being able to sleep normally without having to worry about cybernetic legs, Hung would be the first ones right out of the get-go to help out Lycaon. After a round both ways and making sure that Lycaon was comfortable, they both go to bed, and then they wake up and, well, it's game time. They go to the originium crystal area and things are shaken, and Fairy's like, oh, it's time, there's gonna be a fissure here. And before the fissure shows up, there's an enemy. I would say it's like an originium slug, but let's just be real, Hoyoverse wouldn't go all that deep for a collaboration. So, oh my god, it's Dark Monito, and he's protecting the originium fissure that's the way to get back to Terraria. So you beat the shit out of Dark Evil Monito, and now that Monito's gone, it's like this is it. Like, that fissure is the way to get back home. So everybody says their goodbyes. Before they go, Hung and Lycaon hug each other, and Hung's like, hey, that bath bomb earlier, it was actually a mystery blind box bath bomb, and it had this, and it's a orange wolf charm, and he gives it to Lycaon. All four of them go into the fissure and they get transported back to Terra, and then Victoria Housekeeping is just left there, and with all the originium crystals, they all dissolve and there's nothing left, and they're like, whoa man, that was a crazy ride. Yo, hypergryph, Hoyoverse, if you made it this far into the video, first of all, hi, and second of all, yo, Arknights, OG Arknights, Zenless Zone Zero, even Arknights Enfield, Wolfguard in Zenless Zone Zero. Wait a minute, it might be peak. Obviously, I would prefer four full on. That's really hard to say. 4 full on furries into Zenless Zone Zero. It would be peak. It would be amazing, yo. I'm just saying, Gryphline, Hoyoverse, it would be free money.